short form video in our world is definitely king right now. Um, it felt like it really accelerated over the pandemic, but it's taken over. It tends to be the top priority of our clients, mostly on the label side. Um, Whereas I guess previously maybe Instagram would have been at the top of our conversations with labels and artists, and now it's TikTok. But I think that also is more generally short form video. So it isn't just about TikTok; it is about the platform itself.
We have 1.5 billion people logged in viewing shorts every month, and we have 30 billion views on shorts every day, which is a 400% increase versus this time last year. So it's an exciting time. It's a growing platform, and we're so excited to see what's going to be happening in the future. But live performance videos doing really well, just like a tease of kind of who the artist is, and then it goes into the longer form content. But consistency has been key. So you can see the regular cadence that they're uploading to the channel and getting people familiar with watching short form content on their channels, and then seeing that translate into subscribers as well. So Bring Me the Horizon are another great example that we've seen direct increase in their subs growth on their YouTube channel as a result of uploading shorts.
I think because of being in those rooms with artists, you always, I think at first point of care, we want them to be comfortable. And I think doing that can be very simple. It's just if you're a videographer walking onto set, I think as nerve-wracking as it can be, walk up to the artist, introduce yourself, ask how they are. And I think that it breaks that boundary and also that wall, so that they know what you're there for, and that they can also tell you what they would like you to come and capture, and also what they would rather you not.
And another area we've actually had great success in is actually pairing artists with creators who are already on these platforms. So you might find that maybe there's a comedian, or maybe there's an artist, or just a video creator already on the platforms who the artist might be really excited about. And one thing we'll do at that point is actually pair them up, get them creating work together. And in that way, that's just been another method that we use to really get the artists to lean in and get them feeling excited about the platform generally.
Yeah, so at Partisan, it's been a really fun challenge to figure out how to make short form video work across our roster for very different artists, sometimes with or without the artist's involvement. What's exciting about it, I think, is that it doesn't necessarily have to be tied to a music campaign or a traditional album cycle. So we're really starting as early as possible on these campaigns to get artists comfortable using short form video, sort of find out what is going to work for their fans. It's something that we feel we've found really requires a lot of trial and error. So having that lead time, like 6 months or even a year before new music comes, has really been critical, and is something that this format definitely allows for, which is kind of exciting. It's really helpful when an artist finds something that they're really passionate about and can find a way to communicate in this way with their audiences.
So, there's not a week going by when an A&R doesn't come to me saying there's something popping off on a short form platform. And there's a huge number of DIY artists who have built huge audiences on those type of platforms. So I think it's making it really challenging for us to, figure out what works and what doesn't. And, like I said, tracks can gain traction very, very quickly. And, people use these sounds to create UGC, which can then have a domino effect. So it is very difficult to judge what can work sort of long term and what's going to cross over into, the traditional media side of things over to traditional DSTs, because the type of audience that will use a 15 to 30-second track may not want to listen to the same track at 3 to 4 minutes length. So it's really, really difficult to assess what's going to work.
Definitely an example that stood out for us was last year, towards the end of the year, when short form video was still feeling a little foreign to us. We hadn't quite figured out how to conquer it. And we work with the band Idols, and they had put out their album in September, and we're trying to kind of sustain the campaign and find a way to reach a wider audience. And so we had a lot of incredible footage of them in the studio with Kenny Beats, and we just cut up that footage and made a video for every track on the album and released one of those videos every other day, November into December, and put them up on Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts and TikTok. And, they get really high engagement on their videos in general, but like a feed post on Instagram would get like 50,000 views for just a regular clip that they were to share. And we saw on some of these clips like over 1 million views. And it just pretty quickly, we saw that we could reach a much wider audience. And it really felt like it was a helpful way to sustain the campaign and bring people back to the songs on the album.
And it's completely changed the dynamic between artists and fans. Previously, it was a one-way relationship. Artists would create and fans would consume. Whereas now there's this whole new opportunity where fans can now create and be part of the process and interpret things in their own way, put their own spin on it, use it as their creative outlet. And it becomes more of a dialogue and a conversations, and you see artists then reacting to the things that these fans have created. So it stops becoming a one-way relationship and it becomes a two-way conversation almost. And I think that's only going to grow, particularly with the Gen Z demographic, who are a lot more comfortable to be creating this content and being part of that process. We have seen some really good examples of people consuming the short form and then going into long form. I would say that the experience on a single artist page going through all of their shorts is less common. What's more common is going from the short form into the long form, which ultimately is what's best for the artist.